by the way, as two visitors here in Jackson, the people here are incredible. I'm from New York City. Freddie was from New York City and lives in Austin. I think we're going to be residents soon. I mean, I'm convinced this is the place to be.
Along with everybody else.
That's right.
All right. Well, welcome to town, and I think coming from New York, this is like
better.
The antithesis
better.
of New York.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about this book here. You know about this book from personal experience. It's when you got involved, and I don't really know where to start because we could talk all day about the two of you alone, but I want to eventually get back to how your stories relate to this book.
Yeah, so I can probably lead us in. We're bringing in Apolo Ohno, 8 Olympic gold medals, 17 years in the Olympic space, one of the most decorated winter athlete from the United States ever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always the option where he could come in and do a book signing. And what Julie did is she wanted to create this experience where it's not just walking away with a signature, it's having the book in your hand, it's being in a theater, it's hearing that theme of the hard pivot. And I'm moderating that event because in my life I had a hard pivot. At 26, I went through metastatic cancer and Lyme disease and mold and probably like 5 or 6 different surgeries to correct all of the things that I had done to move through that experience, and had to look outside the fringe for all these wonderful new wellness complementary therapies to rebalance my body. So I really identify with that hard pivot. If you want to have a different body, if you want to have a different energetic experience, you need to ask different questions. And that's something that Apolo has done in the book. And through that experience, what I did is I developed a podcast called the Beautifully Broken Podcast. I have people on with a similar experience who have used outside of the box modalities or fringe wellness or the mental emotional component technology. And I heard about Jimmy, who is sitting next to me to my right, who is producing this event. And I heard this guy was having this amazing new business model in New York City where people worked out in the cold. And this sounded fascinating.
Now, you mean working out?
Yeah, I mean working out, like being on slide boards, working out with weights in a meat locker. I was like, I gotta get this guy on my show.
Or they could just go outside here.
Exactly. So we would save on real estate, yeah. But I mean, so I met Freddie. Freddie asked me to be a guest on his show, and Brrrn, which is the name of my company, BRRN, like
how many R's?
3 R's, because good things come in threes. And Freddie brought me on, and I told him the story about how I started Brrrn, and talking about hard pivots. I lost my wife to cancer when I was 29, and I was working in entertainment in New York City. It was to say it was the most tragic time of my life doesn't do it justice. I mean, it's when everything sort of collapses and you're back to square one. How do you move forward?
And then you throw a pandemic on top of all
this stuff, right?
Things.
So Brrrn was started in 2018. It was the dying wish of my wife to sort of like challenge people to step outside their comfort zone and to be better on the other side of that. And so through hard work, we established a great brand, and we had this slide board experience that people were like, how could I get this slide board? We had like skiers and hockey players that were like, wow, this like sliding motion is so good. It feels so natural. Pandemic happens in 2020, and we closed our business, but we opened up a new chapter of our company to do this at-home slide board experience, and that's how I met Julie. Julie was like, how could I get on board? I'm like, well, let's be best friends because I love your energy, and 2, let's work together to create, bring the slide board experience to Jackson.
I believe her comment was, how do I get on slide board?
That's right. Well, she's very clever. So she said, how do I get on board? Get it? And I go, totally get it, Julie. Totally get it.
All right. So again, backing up a little bit, Apolo Ohno, after his Olympic career, he had to make a hard pivot in his world. And his hard pivot is now, I guess, kind of being a motivational speaker. Is that fair to say?
It goes pretty deep. I think what Apolo had done is there were two paths he could have taken. He could have said, I am a star within my own rights in the field of the Olympic field, 8 gold medals, and I could show up and I could always live in that. I could always live with that cape on, right? And what he chose to do was to do this great divorce in which he said, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm going to put myself in places that are so uncomfortable for me. Being an entrepreneur, working with crypto, we're investing in wellness companies like Brrrn, and he he went forward with a new identity. It took an incredible amount of courage to go forward and do what he's doing today. And what he's passionate about is helping people find their true north, right? What is it like to live a life of purpose? And it's so admirable when you hear him speak on the book and what he's doing. And I think many of us can take that experience and say, it's really easy to either to live on the achievements of the past or be changed to my worst experiences, right? Julie, Jimmy, Freddie, we've all choose to say, hey, I could be knocked down for the count. I can lay down in the ring. But no, Julie's going to build, Vim Fitness. And Jimmy's going to not only start one business, but two. I'm going to do a podcast and totally pivot, leave Broadway Music Theater and start doing, wellness technology. So we all have that. We think we want to share that and see where it lights up everybody that happens to attend this event. Where is that in your life? And how can you optimize that?
I don't know if it was tongue-in-cheek using the word divorce when you were talking to Apolo about Apolo. But to me, it seems from what I'm reading, the numbers, and it may be COVID related, but a lot of couples are getting divorced, so that could be considered a hard pivot for somebody.
100%. I mean, it's very easy to grieve the loss of who you were, right? While you're trying to figure out who you are, right? and what really, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I know I can speak for Julie and Freddie. Community is everything, and what like really enamored me with what Julie's doing here in Jackson is she's created an incredible community of people who are, who want more, who want better for other people. And as Apollo's one of my investors for Brrrn, and just hearing him speak about the necessity of surrounding yourself with good people so that good days become great. I'm so excited for Friday because, I mean, we joke. I said this is like therapy with entertainment, with book signings. You get to have a conversation with this person who's a celebrated athlete, but has gone through like the everyday grievances that we could all relate to. So it is a one of a kind event that Julie helped to orchestrate, and it makes sense that somebody who's so community driven would bring such greatness into an event on Friday.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point too about no matter how much money or fame or wealth you have, life can just throw curveballs, and you may have to hard pivot at some point, despite the wealth, despite the fame.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think one thing that comes up for me, I have this theme come up a lot. There is nothing so uncomfortable as being stuck where you don't belong. And whether it's pivoting from the Olympics or going through a divorce or going through the separation of a business or relationship that you once knew.
The loss of the partner.
spouse.
Yeah,
Right?
Life, in my experience, will continue to create the pain, right? And we're going to have that point where the coal does turn into a diamond. And life will keep building pressure until we as human beings decide, I'm going to start asking different questions. I have to do this. So I think that's the invitation, is to get people in this theater. Yes, meet Apollo. Yes, meet me and Jimmy and Julie and come experience a community event. But come into that theater with a vulnerable heart and see what you might explore in that event. What are you willing to ask yourself differently that you may experience a different version of yourself, in the next 3 months, in the next year? Because I see us coming out of this pandemic in a beautiful way. I know we can easily focus on all the negative stuff that's going on.
So you're seeing more like Phoenix rising from the pandemic versus total destruction and just all hell breaking loose.
Listen, I think I could easily narrate either experience, but I got to get out of bed in the morning, and I'm gonna choose to be the Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose to ask myself those questions. How can I make micro adjustments? This is another thing that Apollo did so well. What are the micro adjustments that set? His race was 6 snaps of a finger. That is start to finish. So it's like 0.00 hundredths of a second that's going to decide the winner from the loser. And how does someone show up year after year after year and use that Olympian mentality, right? And now he's applying that to everything else he's doing.
So the little adjustments in his skating career that won him a medal or didn't win him a medal, or what level medal, he's applying to everyday life.
He calls it his gold medal mindset, and I think that whether you're someone that's in athletics or you're a person that's just trying to get through to the next day, what's inspired me tremendously personally and professionally with Apollo is just like his humility, right? He's like, he's been a type of person that stands alongside you to have a conversation, and to be able to have someone like him speak directly to people on Friday. I mean, I want everybody to know that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to like have a conversation with somebody who is going to ask you questions, who's going to make you feel like you are at the height, the top of your podium in your life. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm so excited for people to be.
I may be off base here, but it's with the kids, with my kids. They're always on their iPad. Now we can either get mad at them for always being on their iPad, or we can adapt, because that is how they're being educated these days. The pandemic has certainly shown us that it's more than just for playing games and watching YouTube. They can certainly be educated with this device. So as a parent, rather than whine about it, you guys are always on your iPads, I just have to adapt to that new situation.
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, another part of this on Friday is that Julie and Freddie are going to show people how they can maximize their TikTok accounts with some tap dancing lessons. They're both incredible tap dancers. I was once in a boy band called Diversity. We were 5 white guys that danced to NSYNC songs. So
matter of fact, I have some diversity coming up next.
I can't wait. But bad jokes aside,
I pulled it off your MySpace page.
Yeah, really.
But it tracks up on Napster.
Exactly. But you know what? I mean, it's about community is everything to all of us, and I think that it's about adaptation. It's about making those lateral moves. It's about learning that life is about malleability, and coming from someone like Apollo, and even hearing stories of like Julie, Fraser, and myself, we are it's all about what our intentions are, and we're optimists that also see things from a realistic standpoint, and I'm so excited that we're bringing this to Jackson with incredible people.
All right, this Friday there are a few tickets available. There's actually 3 levels: a bronze, a silver, and a gold level ticket. Olympic greatness. He also won Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, yes, pre Instagram. So we got to get him back on Instagram.
Yeah, he is a New York Times bestseller, and just the positivity alone. I think just from seeing and talking to you guys, I mean, it's obviously rubbed off on y'all for sure. And it can probably just, you'll walk out of there going, boom, just mind-boggling.
We got Apollo tattoos yesterday, so I mean we're all in on this. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a gold medal around my neck. So
that would be cool. Did he bring any medals with him?
You know what? You got to find out.
He doesn't care. Really.
Well, actually, you're going to find out on Friday whether you can put that medal around your neck or not. So.
Intriguing. All right. Well, listen. If people want to get tickets to this, I guess themstrong.com will break down the price options for you. And again, I think it was limited to 200 tickets, Julie.
They're selling out fast, so
give Julie a call.
Yeah, and you can also call 413-0441. 413-0441. Talk to Julie and reserve your ticket. Gold, silver, and bronze options. Q&A with Apollo in Cook Auditorium this Friday out at the National Museum of Wildlife Art. Guys, I like I said before we even talked, I feel like we could talk all day.
100%.
If you want to keep us here for as long as you like, I mean, we can clean up pretty well.
I got to do Trash and Treasure, which is a fun show.
Nice. Okay.
You have anything to sell?
We
always.
we always sell it.
Tickets
It's all for sale all the time.
But Fish, we're so happy to be here. Thank you for making space for us.
Thank you guys for
this
coming
is incredible.
in. I look forward to it. Friday evening, again, tickets are limited. 413-0441 or mstrong.com. Got to break away, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Pleasure
You are
to be here.
tuned to KMTN Jackson, Wyoming.